Alright, so I really dig the Game Boy. Like, I really dig the game, but like, I'm about 3 steps away from getting one implanted in my heart to work as a sick-ass chiptune pacemaker. I got one as a hand-me-down from my older brother as a kid, and it straight up set me on the path to playing games for the rest of my life. I blasted through games like Castlevania Adventures, Pokemon, Mario Land, and even filled it with some on-the-go Tetris. So when I was scrolling through Facebook and saw a post about the game SAKeRETSU on Steam, I knew I was instantly intrigued. The game was designed to mimic that old-school dot matrix that we all know and love. Knowing little to nothing about the game beyond that, I dove right in. At only $3.99, SAKeRETSU is an open-world, turn-based RPG with a unique single-use item-based combat system built around collecting rare items found by exploring the overworld and defeating monsters. You must traverse the land of Mu, the place between life and death, to discover the truth behind your demise. And this is actually a pretty interesting premise, and I had a good time while trying to figure out just exactly what was going on. The game doesn't really come out and say what exactly is up, and there are very few NPCs that actually tell you anything. Most everything either comes from reading tombstones stretched throughout the map, or from bosses before and after you defeat them. I will say that the game wasn't very long, and I completed it in under an hour and a half. Now again, the game was only $3.99, so that's not really a complaint. And I actually like this as more of an experience instead of a game, where I'm glad that I went through it and played it, but will probably never pick it up again. The game drops you into a world, explains stats to you, and sends you walking through the overworld into a dungeon. In dungeon areas of the game, random battles are turned on and you're given the options to attack, use an item, run, or rest. The battle system isn't anything crazy or innovative, and you should feel fairly at home if you played any RPG pretty much ever. Attacking does damage based on your power stat, items do even more damage and inflict status ailments, running attempts to leave the battle, and resting is supposed to heal you. And Jesus fucking Christ, this is my biggest complaint. Here it is, goddamn! The game full stop lacks healing items. In a game about items, it lacks healing. So the only way to regain health is to rest in battle, or to just die and start back fresh at the hub area. This mechanic would be fine if resting actually worked. Because it's all dice rolls and RNG, more often than not, I find myself just failing these checks and losing more health from attacks. It's some fucking butt. But, you know, just look at this. I'm just losing fuck tons of health, desperately trying to heal, so I don't have to start back, but end up starting back anyway. It's... But that leads me to my biggest experience versus game observation. The game's formula is pretty simple. Run through an area, maybe die, level up some, try again, kill boss, start back at hub world, go to new area, rinse, repeat. At some point, I just said fuck trying to heal altogether because I could just keep corpse running through the areas, leveling up until I made it to the boss and eventually kick his ass. I noticed that it felt more like the game's super high encounter rate and weird difficulty spikes were to stretch it out more than they were to actually add to the gameplay. Now this isn't a huge problem, but this is where the game feels more like an autopiloted movie or something that I just get to have a say in rather than actually be the player. The game's areas are completely linear with little to no exploration, so you pretty much just have to follow that base formula. Go to new area, kill boss, go back, repeat until the game's over. But the story and monster design are actually really neat, and it's pretty short, so I can't even hate on this too much, you know? It kind of felt meh, I don't know. But speaking of the monster design, they were really sweet. I don't actually know pretty much anything about what or who I'm fighting, but they looked cool, so whatever, you know? The game also has this Pokemon-esque monster catching mechanic where you can get the monsters to soak up hits for you or sometimes attack, but it isn't really explained or expanded upon, so it's hard to gauge whether the effort expended is really even worth it. Like, I only caught one monster for my entire run of the game, and half the time I didn't even use him because every time you reload after death, you have to re-equip him, and it was just too much extra work when all I had to do was run through and, you know, kill until I die anyway. So I don't know, it just doesn't lend itself to the way the game runs. I don't know. But that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Reviews with numbers are dumb as fuck, so I'd rather try to recommend this to people who'd actually enjoy it, because it's definitely not for everyone. So here's some pros and cons, and you can decide if you think it'd be something you think you'd enjoy, you know? Like, I don't know what you like, fuck. But, okay, so pros. The game is only $4 goddamn. If you're looking for a quick romp or time waster, this could be right for you. Plus, it captures that, old school aesthetic flawlessly. If you're really into it, there's multiple difficulty levels that amp the game up to 11 will, expand your playability or whatever the fuck. And cons. It's not for those who want a meaty RPG experience. You know, the battles aren't anything crazy, there's no exploration, and it's incredibly linear, and the story's not super long. Healing is also borked as fuck. I hate how the healing mechanic works in this game. I think it's dumb. That's just me. And also, like, the difficulty spikes in RNG can feel downright mean at times. And like I said, they feel like they're just meant to stretch out the game. So, you know, that's not something great, and if you're not into that, this probably isn't going to be for you, but if you can get past that, it's actually a pretty good game, I promise. So if it seems like something you'd enjoy, check out the description and pick it up, and if you end up liking it, be sure to drop a review for the 3-man team over at Klassen Games for putting out such a cool little piece. I'm Zach with Bitmap, signing off. Stay gold.